American Express Jersey Assurance is here to help fans. Listen to this. If you purchased a jersey from the NBA store using your American Express card and your player switches teams within 1 year of purchase, you can get a free replacement jersey. Pretty cool, right? Just make sure you use your Amex card and request a replacement within 14 days of the trade, and you can keep repping your favorite player no matter what the team. Terms apply. You can learn more about Amex Jersey Assurance at nbastore.com/Amex. You back your team, we back your jersey.
If farts came in delicious flavors, you'd hold your nose and try to catch them on your tongue.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, the beautiful Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, is Tass Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Next to Tassie, it's the bearded one, my Top Shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Hey-yo.
Hey-yo. And last but not least, over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer, JD.
Hello.
There he is, and here we are. I got 5 notes in housekeeping. All right, first one.
Wow.
Hello to the stream team here on YouTube joining us live. We love it. All right, second one. Go get your No Dunks merch over at nodunks.com, especially during this holiday season. Great stocking stuffers, as we talked about yesterday, especially the mugs. You can't buy this, unfortunately, this bad boy, my Grizzlies No Dunks jersey. But go have a look at it. It says sold out, and just think about what you could have had. Send in your questions and comments to nodunks@theathletic.com. Always looking for your cues and comments. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at NoDunksInc, INC on the end. And finally, why don't you treat yourself with an Athletic subscription? Go to theathletic.com/nodunks so they know that we sent you, and you can take advantage of a super, super good deal. It's still 99 cents a month, $1 a month. I think so.
I couldn't tell you, to be completely honest.
I know. I should have. I don't know how to check sometimes.
I don't know. Is it?
It's too many Slack channels.
All right, $1.99 a month right now.
Okay.
$1.99 a month according to theathletic.com/nodunks.
That's nothing. Like, think about all the money you saved missing out on this great jersey. Just spin that into an Athletic subscription. Yeah, and get the best sports writing in the world, especially when it comes to the NBA. We have a fun one here today. We are once again running back our NBA Reddit podcast, where we pull some of our favorite recent NBA threads and discuss and debate and get into them. But we had 3 games on last night. Let's quickly touch on all 3 of them. First one, Donovan Mitchell upstages LeBron at home as the Cavs take down the Lakers 116-102. The big story from this one, Tass, AD, who'd been on a run, scoring 99 points over his last 2 games, had to leave 7 or 8 minutes into the game with flu-like symptoms, didn't return, and that definitely hurt the Lakers' chances of staying in this game and winning this game, which they obviously came up short.
It hurt 100%. I'd say from the Cavs' perspective, the big story is Donovan Mitchell, the guy they went and got, shining on the biggest of stages. It sucks. Anthony Davis trying to fight through a fever of 105 degrees earlier on in the day.
105, stay home, man.
Yeah, so all those jokes about AD getting injured all the time, he was trying to fight in this game. On the other side, could it have been more perfect? This picture of Donovan Mitchell, a bigger stage, a national TV game, Donovan Mitchell, the guy that they got for these exact moments, comes out in the fourth quarter and just took over. The first half, he was kind of quiet, but Donovan Mitchell is made for fourth quarters. He ended up with 43, putting the dagger in the Lakers in the fourth. He played almost all the fourth. He scored 17 in the quarter. He was 5 of 6 from the floor, hit both his threes that he took, 5 of 5 from the line, 3 boards, 0 turnovers. No other Cav hit more than 1 basket. This is exactly what they were dreaming about. What Kobe Altman was thinking about when he said, yeah, we're going to take a chance on this guy who, I don't know what time is anymore. I can't understand what time is, but it's just like, it was like 6-7 months ago where people thought of Donovan Mitchell as a completely different player. Just the general consensus was Donovan Mitchell may not be the superstar that we saw in the playoff runs with the Utah Jazz where he takes over and scores 30 points, but he is a superstar because he can score in the fourth quarter. And I do say it's sort of like a perfect night for the Cavs because LeBron was in the house. The video tribute goes on the board. And as Kelsey Russo wrote about on The Athletic later on, Donovan was sitting there looking up at the board thinking, yeah, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to have that. I want to try and bring a championship here. He's gotten acclimated so fast. It's been so perfect. It's kind of unbelievable how it's worked out with Evan Mobley missing training camp, Darius Garland going out the first game. He's got his career high in field goal percentage and three-point percentage in minutes played. It's wild how it's working out this well for the Cavs.
What are your thoughts on the Cavs' big victory there on TNT?
I thought the game. Fart?
Is that a fart and a thought together?
Fart? A fart? It's when you have a brain fart. That's a fart.
Yeah.
I just had one. I thought the game really started to turn in the second quarter. AD is out at this point. LeBron subs out, and the Cavs went on a 15-4 run to end the first half, and that really kind of untracked them going forward. Came out in the second half. They had an 11-2 run, a 9-0 run, and a 10-0 run. Basically because the Lakers were just throwing the ball away. Shout out to the Cavs staying active out there, but Lakers finished with 16 turnovers. 15 of them came after the first quarter. So the Cavs just had them flustered, I thought. They were better offensively, and they were clearly better defensively as well.
Yeah, without 80 in the middle, Jared Allen went on a tear there.
Wild.
I mean, he didn't miss a shot for a while. He finished with 24 and 11. Then you had Garland, 21 and 11. That's in the assist department. And then, like you said, Mitchell with the crazy stat line. So the Cavs' big three doing their part. I mean, you got all three guys scoring over 20, your main guy scoring over 40, your playmaker getting all the dimes, your big guy getting all the rebounds. Like, that's like the perfect game there. And again, I think it's a different different second half, whatever, if AD, the way he's been playing recently, is healthy and good to go. But, that's not to say the Cavs still wouldn't have won. Jared Allen's no slouch, first off, and then this team is just unbeatable, it feels like, at home. They've lost one game.
11-1,
they're in Cleveland, 11-1 now. So incredible stuff.
Doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, I sort of agree with that. Haven't talked about it all that much.
No,
maybe it's too early. When do you start talking about a dominant
40-1
home
season?
record? Yeah, exactly. Like
over 30 wins, I think. It starts getting chattery.
Okay. This is a weird note about the Lakers too. They have not won a game where they didn't lead at halftime. So they've lost all 9 of those, and the Lakers are 0-10 when they trail after 3 quarters. So. Just a little weird note from
just
this. Get ahead on the Lakers, and then hold on.
I got another weird note. The Lakers are 1-6 when Westbrook does the rock the baby move.
Is that true?
Apparently, there's some work from the NBA Reddit crew on this one.
Nice one.
The Baritone and Dual Dog working together. Because at first, I do believe it was the Baritone that wrote they're 0-7 when Westbrook does the rock the baby, but then Dual Dog came in, did some work, and
they won once.
Tag team, apparently, it was 1-6. It was a good. If you remember, he went took Garland in the post, a little spin move.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was rock the baby. It was rock the baby worthy. It was a close game in the fourth quarter. Then they lost.
And then one more note from this game because we got some weird ones here. Did you guys see the halftime show featuring? Competitive eating champion Joey Chestnut scarfing down what I think was 47 pierogies. Pierogies, and he was battling 3 other guys combined, and they got to like 33 in whatever the time frame was. And he's just
like, how long did they have? 5 minutes or something? Maybe?
It may have been less.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a lot of pierogies.
It was. Man. Hey, good on you, Chestnut. Way to take down the pierogies, but like. He finishes, and you know how they do the water drinking technique and all that.
Yeah.
Although it looked like beer. I don't know. Maybe it was the cup that it had. I assume it was water, but it had the color of beer. It had to be the cup. But anyway, he finishes, and then he's a competitive eater, so he's got crap pierogi all over his face. And it's like, somebody pass him a towel or something. They're handing him the championship belt to raise. He's got still a piece of pierogi.
Honestly, I think it's like Michael Jordan. He would never dry the sweat off his face. So you would look at him; he's just always dripping sweat. Joey Chestnut is the most dominant champion in all of sports. So if that's how he wants to do it, that's how he gets to do it. He's the GOAT, man.
I guess.
Yeah, after
he's so much better.
had a window.
Kobayashi doesn't hold a candle to Joey Chestnut.
I know.
Kobayashi is like the George Mikan of competitive eating.
Ouch.
He was great until the next generation comes along. And Joey Chestnut blows everybody out of the water. he's probably past his prime, still dominating everybody.
Okay, he doesn't hold a candle to him, but who could eat more candles between Kobayashi and Joey Chestnut?
Oh, guaranteed Chestnut. He'd lap him.
right.
He would lap him. Joey Chestnut should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know of what. Competitive eating, probably, but we should just put him in the Great Americans Hall of Fame because nobody eats like this guy, and nobody ever will.
You're probably right. Kobayashi's still my guy. I saw him live. He's the only one I saw. I saw him live, so he's close to my heart. Saw him drink a 4-gallon.
Yeah, thing of milk in like less than 10 seconds.
Yep, destroyed the milk, then rolled his belly.
I remember when you
pulled up his shirt and rolled his belly. So last night when I saw Chestnut, I was watching the broadcast. I got off. I said I can't watch this.
Yeah. I remember when you met Kobayashi, he tried eating your arm.
He was hungry. All he had was that milk. Doesn't fill him up. Give me an arm.
We went karaokeing with him. It was short because he ate the mic.
I like that. I can't believe we've never said that.
It wasn't 4 gallons.
No, what's
It was 1
No,
gallon.
it was
what,
one.
how much is
yeah.
I just don't know the measurement. I just don't know how much
that
is in that
f-
plastic
is that 4 quarts?
standard
4 liters. It might be 4 liters.
No way.
America. I
I
don't
don't
know,
know,
what
but it
America
was a
does.
big old.
It was big. It was a big
old
jug of
plastic
milk.
jug of milk, and he
Yeah,
went,
the classic plastic jug.
It was,
And
it was in less than 4 seconds, it felt like.
it was definitely less than 10
Less than
seconds.
10
I know
seconds.
That. Yeah.
I don't think that's
He
possible,
might
JD.
be. It literally went. He just went. He just crushed it. Yeah. It went all inside of him.
And then lifted his
Smiled
shirt and
lifted
rolled
his
it.
shirt. Yeah.
Imagine his poor mother. Huh.
What?
Wait.
Yeah, he was breastfeeding.
Squeezing on it. Yeah, it hurt.
He wasn't a competitive eater then.
How do you know?
Yeah,
He's
he
born
I
with it.
came out of the womb.
I know.
Born with it.
The whole thing is that he may have been cheating, right? That's the scandal. Kobayashi?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I see Gosh here in the stream team is saying that Joey Chestnut is juicing. Probably Apple.
Wow, Dad.
Let's move on. Pierogies. How many pierogies could you eat though?
Honestly, there's Pierogi Fest in Whiting, Indiana. It's a huge deal,
Yeah.
and it's a banger. Pierogies are very good, but it would take me 6 hours to eat 47, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Here, we'll move on after this. But what food do you think would give you the best chance in any sort of competitive eating? Like either because you really love it or you just can take them down with a bandit.
Clementines. You know,
Nice.
like the little small oranges?
Yeah.
I could easily eat a full bag.
Okay.
As
I don't know
peeling.
about timing-wise. Yeah,
As
peeling
peeling part
would
of
be
it.
tough.
No, maybe you're
Maybe you're
the
good
best
at
peeler.
it. Yeah. Straight peel, spit it out. What about you? A food item.
Tomatoes.
Really?
Yeah.
So acidic, both of you.
I don't care.
I think
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your mouth would definitely be.
Oh, and your esophagus.
You know that feel.
I think it's chicken nugs for me.
Yeah,
You
same.
eat a lot. Yeah.
I can eat a ton of them. But not on the level of obviously the best and the best.
Not chestnut style.
No, but I can eat for my size. I think I can eat a shocking amount of
Well,
chicken.
Trey
McNugget.
threw down like 4.
Yeah.
What was it?
69 and a half hour.
Yeah, but you top loaded it. So like that
Yeah, I
first
went
block,
hard,
you
yeah.
went hard.
Maybe like 40 in the first 8
Yeah.
minutes or something like that.
You went ham on nuggets in the A block.
That is my best eating performance.
Yeah.
honestly,
It
for
was
sure,
very
yeah.
impressive.
Okay, moving on. Dorian Finney-Smith hit a late 3 to help the Mavericks to the 116-115 win over the Nuggets. Give me them, get my tummy. What are your thoughts on this one, Trey? Let's start with you. Entertaining game, a little sloppy at times, but very, very close in the end.
Little slopperoo, but Skeets, I saw your Statitudes tweet this morning about Tim Hardaway Jr., and I was a little disappointed because you actually got to go back one more game to when Tim Hardaway Jr. moved into the starting lineup for Reggie Bullock. We've talked a little bit about how Reggie Bullock just can't make shots in October and November.
Yep.
So they sent him to the bench, brought Tim Hardaway Jr. on. He now gets to play with Luka, and guess what? Luka gets everybody wide open shots. Had 29 points last night. Tim Hardaway Jr. did. 6 of 8 from 3, 9 of 12 at the free throw line. A couple of clutch misses after going like 9 for 10.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty weird. But all 7 of Tim Hardaway's makes were assisted last night. 3 came from Luka. 2 of them came on hockey assists from Luka. I think it was like Luka to Dorian Finney-Smith, who then found Tim Hardaway Jr. wide open there. He's just getting good looks, and he's actually knocking them down in 6 games as a starter, 21 points per game, 49 from the field, and 53 from the three-point line. The Mavericks in that time, 4-2. They've got wins over Golden State, Phoenix, and Denver, all teams that are going to be in the mix for top seeds in the Western Conference, all teams that are going to be in the mix for the Western Conference Finals. one of their losses is an OT loss. They just needed somebody to make shots. Reggie Bullock was not able to do it the first month and a half of the season. Tim Hardaway Jr. is doing it right now. If there's a little bit of help with the Mavericks, they're going to win games because the shots are always going to be wide open. The looks are always going to be good. You just got to knock them down. Shout out to Tim Hardaway. He's doing it.
Yeah, he's on a tear. I had my first tweet last night. Somebody saying, "Is this the night Tim Hardaway Jr. goes for 50 points? Is this the 50 burger?" Not last night, but it's coming. Yeah, I wrote down in my notes with the Mavericks. It feels as simple as this: they have on their roster 5 or 6 guys that can really hit the 3 ball, like can go over stretches where they're on fire from 3 and it's consistent, and you're obviously going to get open looks with Luka. I'm talking about THJ, Dorian Finney-Smith, Dinwiddie, Bullock, Kleber, and then Josh Green, let's say, because Bertans is like sort of a DNP at this point, but obviously a 3-point guy too. As long as they have, it feels like 2 guys on any given night of those 5 or 6 that are, stepping into them with confidence and knocking them down at a decent clip, they have a hell of a chance to win. And so last night, of course, it was Tim Hardaway Jr., and then it was Dorian Finney-Smith who hit a bunch of threes as well, including that one that put them back in the lead, where he hit the go-ahead 3 from the top. You don't see that all that often in the NBA, but Luka got sort of like a soft trap by Jokic and Aaron Gordon, and no rotation came over, and Dorian Finney-Smith stepped into that one. But as long as they have like 2 of their 3 guys, hitting them 50% or just under 40 to 50%, man, they can win a lot of games. I know that's like duh, yeah, hit your threes, win, but it's sort of the case with them.
Yeah, it's fair what Trey is saying. The shots are going to be open.
Yeah.
It sure seems and feels like this is the team that went to the conference finals last year when guys are hitting shots. Yeah, this is where we've had like 3 iterations of this team. Well, the beginning of this season, Luka's the MVP. He can take his team anywhere. They've got the best offense in the league too. They just need some guys to hit shots. That's why they're losing all these games. And now, Tim Hardaway is monstrous. If he can streak like this as you tweeted about, your Statitude tweet, this is fairly unprecedented. He's hit 5 straight games with 5 straight threes. Only 10 guys in the NBA history have ever done that. That just doesn't happen very often. So are we getting a good Tim Hardaway this season? Reggie Bullock, as you said, Trey, usually turns it on in December. That hasn't happened. He goes to the bench, and you've got Hardaway and Finney-Smith and Josh Green doing his best Jose Alvarado impression. A rising tide lifts all boats, or something like that. That everybody is sort of just picking it up, and it's the first time the Mavs have won a game when Luka scores under 30 points.
Yeah, it's not the leading scorer, right?
Yeah. So that's a very, very good sign. While the Nuggets are looking for what the Mavs have, they need Jamal Murray obviously needs to be better, and Aaron Gordon.
He had a good game last night. He's played really good this season.
He was playing, we'll get into the All-Star selection a little bit later in the show if they can get a second Nugget up there, but their depth is lacking. And on this one, the Mavs finally won one of those close ones on the second night of a back-to-back as well. They've been losing a lot of close ones, and then they go into Denver, not an easy second night of a back-to-back, and win this thing. That was a big win.
I was happy too. Bruce Brown hit a 3 that gave the Nuggets the lead. Again, they stormed back to take the lead with about 35 seconds to go. Then DFS hits that 3 at the top, like I said. So now Dallas is back up too. And I was ecstatic that Ball Don't Lie reared its ugly head last night. Or its beautiful Rasheed Wallace head, I should say. Because I thought that call on Dorian Finney-Smith on Jokic did a good job of selling that arm up. There was very minimal contact. Sent him to the line. And then Ball Don't Lie said, nuh-uh. And he missed the first one, didn't he? And then hit the second. So, then they were in a tough spot, got into fouling games and stuff like that. But I thought that was a bad call. Good on the Joker to sell it like crazy, just chucking that arm up. And you knew it was a bad call because DFS, he didn't even do anything. He's like, it was like the come on, are you kidding me? Like he got you on that one, guys. Because it was the ref calling it from a weird angle too. But anyway, it worked out there for the Mavericks in the end. Final game. And we got to start with Trey here because the Miami Heat, they got embarrassed at home by the Pistons, who ran away with it in the second half. 116-96 was the final score. Now, no Jimmy Butler for the Heat, but that shouldn't matter. And you were talking about the other day where the Heat are losing these games, their record's garbage, and why aren't we talking about them and why aren't we saying blow them up like we do a bunch of other teams when they have a little bad stretch? It's a fair point. I said, wait until you see what happens against the Pistons because they lost to the Grizzlies. They were shorthanded, but it's still a good team. But this one, no excuses.
No excuses. They should have won this game, and I don't know. I think people probably don't realize that the Heat are 11-14 right now, or that since LeBron left, they're always worse in odd-numbered years. It's very strange. Like 2015, worse. 2016, good. 2017, 2018,
Wow.
It just goes back and forth.
That's a good Reddit thread right there.
That's a good Reddit thread right there. But they are kind of similar to the Mavs. They're a real high volatility team, I think, because they take a ton of threes and they got to get 3-point makes from their role players to be good. Right now, they're 26th in offense. They're top 5 in 3-point attempts per game. Max Strus, Hero, Lowry, Vincent, and Duncan Robinson. They're at or below league average from 3. That's just not going to cut it when you're out there to make threes. Jimmy has been a stud. He's been dragging his team to wins, kind of. They're only 7-8 when Jimmy Butler plays.
Yeah.
4-6 without him. Bam Adebayo, I think, has certainly taken a step forward this season, but the team is still pretty limited offensively. If he's the go-to guy, they just need something to happen. They need a little bit of a shakeup. I said on our Eastern Conference Surprises podcast, the biggest surprise to me will be if the Heat do not make a trade, because they just need somebody else who can do something with the ball in his hands. Honestly, they should be targeting Kyle Kuzma. One of my favorite dudes. I love Kyle Kuz. He would be perfect for this team. The size, the stretch, the skill he has. And I think he would love being in Miami as well. So, I don't know. The Heat team right now just does not seem to have enough talent to me. That is almost always the case with the Heat. They generally outperform their expectations. But when you're a three-point shooting team and the three-pointers aren't going down, your team can look very average, and the Heat do.
It's shocking that they're still the 7th best defense in the NBA. And so it is all on offense with them. Their defense will always be there. But they can sort of look through rose-colored glasses and say, well, you know, we start hitting our threes and we have an average defense, then we can be a decent team in this league. But, yeah, to go from that 53-win team last year to a team that, is lacking. When you don't have a Jimmy Butler in this game, they didn't have him on a second night of a back-to-back. No real reason other than the standard NBA rest on the second night of a back-to-back, which is unfortunate for them. They need Kyle Lowry to shoot more, and I know that's not Kyle's MO. It's not in his blood. But a 1-for-6 night is just a little too quiet. It'd be nice if Duncan Robinson found his flow, which he had a little while ago. They just had a really bad nights from a lot of guys. And even Hero had a great game. He really had a phenomenal game. Carried them in the first half. Bam carried them in the second half. But there is some sort of spark that they're missing. I know it feels like the exact same team. They will say, hey, PJ Tucker is out of the starting lineup. That means we have to insert somebody, and things are just they haven't got any cohesion.
But it's not like taking PJ Tucker off of your team is suddenly taking away 25 points or something like that.
No.
You need scoring. I can't believe in 2022 here, they have 5 games this year already where they didn't even crack 100 points. That's difficult to do in today's NBA game. They lost to the Raptors when they scored 90. They lost to the Pacers when they only scored 99. They lost to the last 2 games to the Pistons and Grizzlies with 96 and 93. And there was another one where they scored 87 in a blowout loss to the Cavaliers on the road. That's 5 games where you can't hit 100?
I don't think they can trade for anybody good. I think Kyle Kuzma is out of their range. Who are they going to trade for him unless there's picks involved?
I mean, Robinson is the guy, I guess, like the most I don't know, trade value. That's not the right word for it, but he's got a big contract, so he can get a bigger contract back. Sure. But he needs to be hitting 40+% from 3 for anybody else to really be interested in him. Of course, if he's hitting 40% from 3, the Heat are probably happy.
Yeah.
Super happy. And you look on the other side, Bojan Bogdanovic had 28 points in the second half. For the Detroit Pistons.
They could use him.
Yeah, they could. Doing his best. Hello, I'm here. Trade for me if you want. A fantastic performance from them. And Alec Burks off the bench as well. Both those guys probably available. Who knows with Bojan Bogdanovic? They signed him to the extension.
Burks you could go, I feel like, and get for a second-round pick or something like that.
But Bojan,
and he's played really well this year for the Pistons.
I'm kind of in Bojan's corner to get to another team here as he gets a little bit older. He will be 34 when it comes to the postseason. And
just what for Weaver and the Pistons to like turn him into something.
Yeah.
Like that's like depends what it is, but they got him for nothing. Turn him into something.
Kelly Olynyk? You're calling Kelly Olynyk nothing?
I know.
I'm kidding.
Like
I'm kidding.
It's possible.
But a hot second half for him.
All right. Let's get to some of our favorite recent, at least, NBA threads. What do you got for us here,
Yeah,
Tassie?
we got some good NBA Reddit threads. We've taken the best from NBA Reddit, and here's our first one of many today. This one from Bayonet Basher. Which of last year's All-Stars will not make it this year. So last year's All-Stars, feels like there's a lot of them. Skeets, why don't you get us started?
I loved this thread. I love this question. So let me break it down. I think it's important first to start with last year's roster. I'm not going to go through it all, but give you the numbers. 27 total All-Stars.
Unbelievable.
Okay? 27 total All-Stars. You're going to be like, what? 27? How does that make sense? Well, you had the 10 starters, of course, voted on by the fans, media, players. 14 reserves, chosen by the NBA coaches, really their assistants. And then 3 injury replacements. That's why we're getting to that. So we had Jared Allen, DeJounte Murray, and LaMelo Ball. Those were the injury replacements in Cleveland. So, in looking at the rosters from last year to answer this question, I think we could see anywhere between 11 to 14 players that were there last year not go to Salt Lake City. 11 to 14, Taz. I know that sounds really high. Let me tell you why. Okay. You're with me, Trey? Yep. Okay. Injuries eliminate 5 guys basically immediately. Middleton won't be there because of it. He just came back. LaMelo, same thing. Chris Paul. James Harden has only played in 10 games, and I do not think he's going to be an All-Star this year. And then I'm taking Towns out of the mix, too, because he's out for weeks. I'm not even sure he was all that deserving of his team's success anyway. So anyway, that's 5. Then I have disappointing play paired with like middling team records, like sort of bad team records, or you think they would have been better. That takes out probably 4. Draymond Green, I don't think is an All-Star this year. Rudy Gobert.
Yep.
Again. Van Vliet with the Raptors. We talked about him shooting 27% over the last little stretch here. And then I have Zach LaVine in that mix too.
Yep.
We're up to 9. I am very doubtful 2 Hawks make this team with their 500-ish record. So it's Trey or DeJounte Murray. It's probably Trey. So that takes out at least one of them. Let's say it's Murray. That's 10. I don't think we're going to have 3 Cavaliers. Though if they keep winning, I guess maybe there's a case, and they're like up there with the Celtics and the Bucks, and they're right there. But I think Mitchell is a lock for sure. He's probably going to start the game. And then it's like, who's the second guy? Jared Allen or Darius Garland? That'll be a fun debate. But I don't think both of them make it. So we're already at 11, if you're still with me. And then it's like Jimmy Butler. We just said how bad the Heat are. Even when he plays, they're not all that great. He's only played 15 games. His stats are similar to an All-Star season, but they're not going to wow you because that's sort of like Jimmy's. It's not like his box score where you're just like in clutch time. You're like, oh, you just won him the game.
Yeah, and Bam can steal that spot.
And possibly that. So maybe 12. I think DeRozan is fascinating. The scoring has dipped down a little bit. Otherwise, fairly similar statistics. But the Bulls are 9-14. Will they have a rep? I don't know. I'll put them on the list. And then Wiggins. 19 points per game, really good defense. I know you guys love him. You're making the case for him again. He should be there. He might be there. He's got the weirdest shooting splits in the league. 51 from the field, 45 from 3, and then a good old 63 from the free throw line. Just a strange line. But I have those guys. I think everyone else, I feel pretty confident about them getting back there. Anyone I missed, Trey?
That's my
you
entire
got the
list.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Huh, we didn't even call each other last night. We usually have a good 20 to 25 minute call every night to talk about our points coming up the next day. Yeah.
Secrets unveiled here. I didn't know that.
Oh, there you go. I'm happy to hear that. So 11. That's 11 to 14 guys. And
that's a lot of guys.
That's a lot of guys.
That is
that are not at least going back.
Yeah, I doubt Wiggy gets there, even though he's worthy. In my mind, but
James Worthy?
With the Warriors playing the way they are, I think in the Western Conference there will be no team that has 2 All-Stars, and that feels pretty rare.
I'm not so sure about that.
I think there are 2 teams that could.
There are teams that could.
Warriors could. I mean, Wiggins got voted in as a starter, so it might happen again this year. And then the Lakers have LeBron and AD. AD guaranteed an All-Star, and LeBron's going to get voted in.
He's going to be an All-Star.
Yeah, I didn't even think about them. I was thinking about the Suns at the top, maybe an Ayton, maybe a Bridges joins Booker.
Yeah.
Or it depends on who's up there, but it just feels like, Zion will be the sole Pelican. It feels like a bunch of those teams, like Jokic is going to be the only Nugget. Yeah. But yeah, the Lakers, the team that's way below 500 currently, 3 games below 500, could have both, could have 2 players, which is oddball. But yeah, last year there was the Warriors that had 3. And the Jazz had 2 in the Western Conference. I think those were the only 2 multiple player teams, I guess you'd say. Wiggins, baby. He's done so well. What more could Wiggins do? But I guess what also comes into that
a big
formula,
part of him making it, like Trey said, was being voted a starter. That was huge, and they had an unbelievable record.
They were great in the first half.
I mean, they were running away with the league.
No. That's why there's no Draymond Green and no Andrew Wiggins most likely this year. They were both there last year.
Because
it's highly unlikely.
Honestly, if you want to go to bat for Wiggins, then you should have the same passion for an Aaron Gordon. I mean, it's not that much different.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think Wiggins is a lock by any means, unless, I don't know, who voted him in? Who is the pop star that got him in?
BTS?
That sounds right.
BTS got behind Andrew Wiggins?
Something like that.
It was something. Let us know in the stream teams.
Yeah, somebody will remember.
Yeah.
There
was a big push.
And I hate to do all the math formula, but you get voted in by the fans, that's half the criteria, half the vote criteria, right?
Yep. It's 50, 25, 25.
Players, media.
Yeah.
Okay.
For starters. Yeah.
For starters.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the problem as well. Even if BTS and every pop group gets behind him, the players in the media are going to be even lower than last year. Not that I remember what the players in media did last year.
I know.
And I don't want to remember. So anyway, moving on. We got another Reddit thread here. A little hot takey, a little no dunksy to me. This is not what we usually do here, but it's a would you rather. This is a Twitter type conversation, a barbershop type conversation. Would you rather have Jaylen Brown or Brandon Ingram? Simple as that. From Rose Garden, 1977. Great question.
It's a good question.
That's a great question.
Yeah, because it's the one where you immediately don't go him. Like, come on.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? It's you slow down a second and go, I don't know.
You smell the Rose Garden. What do you think, Trey?
I love it. Two players. They could be the number one player for an okay team, but they're perfect as the number two for an awesome team.
Yes.
They're both one-time All-Stars. They were drafted number 2 and 3 in the same draft.
Yep.
It's a little unfortunate that Brandon Ingram is now a Pelican because this would be nice to be having a Lakers versus Celtics conversation here. Nonetheless, here's some pluses for Jaylen Brown. He's awesome in transition offense. I think he's one of the better transition players out there. His shooting has improved. He's got great defense and physicality. The minuses, the turnovers, the handles, and the decision making. He's still a turnover kind of guy. He still gets a little bit out of control driving into the lane. That's just kind of a feature of his game at this point, but you live with it because he makes these daring plays in the fourth quarter where he decides to push 1-on-4 and scores at the bucket. It's worth it. Some pluses for Brandon Ingram. I think he's a better shooter and playmaker than Jaylen Brown is. I think he's got a little bit higher ceiling offensively. And in a pinch, he's a better number one guy because he's a better bailout player, where he can just randomly hit a 17-footer over everybody because he's got such a high release and is tall and has that length. The minuses, lesser durability, certainly from Brandon Ingram. A lack of postseason reps compared to Jaylen Brown. He's obviously been on worse teams. And I think Brandon Ingram is a decent defender, but doesn't have quite the same impact that Jaylen Brown has. Verdict for me, I'm barely on Jaylen Brown for here because I think his offense is good enough at this point that his defense kind of pushes it over the edge. But really, to me, both guys are in the perfect spot. The Celtics need Jaylen Brown's defense, and they need his slashing. And the Pelicans need Brandon Ingram's perimeter game, and they need him to be a number one guy sometimes, more so than the Celtics do with Jaylen Brown. So I'll stick with Jaylen Brown, but I think they're in the right spots.
Great question.
It's a good breakdown. I also just threw up the poll here for everybody in the stream team in YouTube to make your pick, because a lot of people were saying JB.
Jaylen Brown is coming in hot on the stream team, and I think that would be the general consensus among basketball fans. Especially because Brandon Ingram has just been operating not in Los Angeles, but in New Orleans. I think that's a big part of it.
That's a part of it.
I don't think the casual fan really knows Brandon Ingram. He's made one All-Star game, but the guy is an absolute bucket when it comes to fourth quarter. So I think he has a little bit more offensive versatility, as Trey said.
Does that outweigh enough of all the other things?
No, I don't think so. I would. It's wild to think what Brandon Ingram can be with C.J. McCollum and Zion being a number 2 guy. I think there's even a higher ceiling than Jaylen Brown can have offensively. Brandon Ingram's shooting 46.7 from 3. That's a ridiculous percentage this year. He hasn't played much with McCollum and Zion, but all things being equal, I would take Brandon Ingram. But all things aren't equal. I wouldn't. Brandon Ingram is hurt right now.
Yeah,
and it's not just because of right now, but track record. Trey mentioned it. Through 6 seasons, Ingram has missed an average of 16 games this season. It just happens with him. The durability is a big factor. If they were both healthy at all times, I think I would pick Brandon Ingram, but I would take Jaylen Brown just because of that. I think it's the biggest factor, unfortunately. I hate talking about injuries, but that's a big part of it for me.
I think I don't think you need to gloss over, too, the playoff experience. I think has to be addressed at least. I mean, Jaylen Brown, he's only probably knocking on 100 playoff games played.
Got to be close
at this point of his career. Like, it's got to be over 80, whereas Brandon Ingram has played 6, played in one series, if I remember correctly.
Really?
He played great.
He didn't get there for
so there is that. And
no, Davis traded for him.
Yeah, and as much as I do love Brandon Ingram. In fact, I have a tweet up from like a month ago. I think Brandon Ingram might be the most underrated player in the game. And that goes to what you were talking about, Tass, about playing in New Orleans, maybe not a lot of exposure. You got Zion on that team, but he is so good. But when you compare like their career numbers, these two guys, it is eerily similar. Like, go look at their per 36-minute numbers just like for their career. It's creepy how damn near identical they are. Ingram a better playmaker in terms of assists. Jaylen Brown a little bit better rebounder. But then what blew my mind was like Jaylen Brown, again, for the career, is a better scorer. At least in terms of points per 36 and true shooting percentage. And that shocked me a little bit. So that puts me to vote for Team Jaylen Brown here in this head-to-head. But you can't go wrong with either of these guys. And I love both these guys. As a number 2, you're going to be hard-pressed to find like better number 2s than guys like this. JB and BI, why are you smiling at me? Number 2?
Just having a laugh at Brown number 2.
I
call my P's BIs and I call my Poos Browns.
As long as you don't have a UBI, UTI. You're laughing at that. I'm laughing at the stream team.
Why?
Because I often say that I hate the old adage that the best ability is availability. Hate it.
Yeah.
But I just got got.
I
just got in the stream team. John Schumann said. So Tess is saying that availability is the best ability. Eric Kuhn also chipping in saying the best ability ... Yeah, every game. Well, we're talking about guys that are basically on the same level. Yeah, that's a part of it. But anyway.
Brandon Ingram has only played 40 less games in his career, regular season, than Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown's hurt a lot.
Well, I think, look, man, numbers don't lie.
Yeah, I know.
What am I, statitudes?
Skeetitudes.
But again, like I said, that huge glaring difference between playoffs games and experiences, that's something. That's a fun one, man. I like that.
Good one, yeah.
That was
Jaylen
a good
Brown.
one.
I like both those players, too. Okay. So that helps. It's different when you like hate one of the players. You're like, I don't want him. But I like both these guys.
All right, moving on. A little injury talk, but positive injury talk with our next Reddit thread here. How are players back from extended injuries looking so far? This is from Binroy01. Now, Binroy, his or her role of players are Markelle Fultz, who's played 4 games since returning, TJ Warren, Bogdan Bogdanovic, and Chris Middleton, who have all played 2 games. But go wherever you want. There's a lot of players returning from injury. Obviously, the big names. But who do you want to talk about, Trey?
I don't know. I marked down 4 notable returns. I was there for Bogdan Bogdanovic's return. I heard the fortress roar as he stepped on the court. And then he looked incredibly rusty in his first game out. But his second game, nice one against the Thunder. A bad loss for the Hawks, but 17 points, 5 of 10 from 3. The Hawks are going to need his shooting. They're 29th in makes and attempts right now, 26th in percentage. Him coming back is certainly going to help them get some better looks from the perimeter, and it's nice that they have a healthy guy with all the other forwards they've been missing lately. So, interesting. I wonder if he is a long-term Hawks guy. We shall see with the emergence of A.J. Griffin. Markelle Fultz, he had a 20-point game recently. Made 2 threes in that game. I like that he's just become another guy. He's just a guy out there. Markelle Fultz had a very strange start to the beginning of his season. He could have been out of the NBA and never heard from again very easily. He's just a dude now. Good stuff from him. Chris, he's looking mid-Bolton so far, but still a Ferris wheel. Started 6 for 11 first game, 1 for 11 the next game. Nothing has changed. Best return, though, I will say, is Jaren Jackson Jr. He's only played 8 games for the Grizzlies so far, but career highs in points per game, rebounds per game, blocks, free throw attempts, I think, is the most important. His offense looks the best it's ever looked. He's a little bit smarter defensively, and he's obviously still making an impact on that end as well.
I have Jaren Jackson Jr. down as impressing me, at least, coming back from injury. It's a good one.
There's we usually talk about the big names on this show, so I guess we'd get more to I thought we'd get more to the second tier guys like a Jaren Jackson Jr., but I think you're starting with the names that have come back from injury. Zion Williamson is the first guy.
Yeah,
He is
He has been Zinos, or whatever his basketball reference page
Please,
says.
please. Call him the Big Tasty.
I'm fine calling him the Big Tasty. Delicious. He has been great. You know, the Kawhi situation has been up and down because he has been up and down.
You can't even say Kawhi's back almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I know he's technically
Doesn't
back.
feel like it.
But yeah, right. Until he's like back, until Kawhi is here playing for a couple weeks in a row, playing like Kawhi starter minutes, I'm gonna, hold my
see.
hold my judgment,
Yeah, sure.
You can hold it.
Yeah, or your horses.
hold my bi. I gotta pee.
He did hit a game winner in his last game, but that was his first game played in a row. That was his first game back.
Right, right. So-
Exactly right. Yep.
I need to see it for a couple weeks, and I'm sure he'll be fine if he ever plays a couple weeks in a row, because he's still an elite
Yeah, we'll
talent.
see. I mean, most likely he finally plays a couple weeks in a row when it's playoff time. That's what it feels like, right? I mean, Kawhi has been managing for the postseason for half a decade. At this point, it's just gone overboard this season. I mean, he's had legit injuries. He picked up a second one, I suppose, but it was just weird. It's just very stop and start.
Yeah. I didn't like seeing Jimmy Butler sit out last night. Feels like every player now is just going to sit out a second night of a back-to-back. I know Jimmy's in his 30s now, but it's Jimmy. Everybody's going to sit out, it feels like. So that's a problem for the NBA, obviously, to deal with. Another couple other names I want to mention. Jamal Murray, who missed an entire season last year, is coming on. He's not Jamal Murray yet.
No. He has the flashes, though, where you're like, oh, yeah.
Yes.
Bubble Murray, he's in there.
And the fact that they don't have Michael Porter Jr. right now, he's also injured. So the Nuggets they're dealing with a lot there, and they could still be the first team in the first seed in the Western Conference. So that's a good start for them. And you like Jaylen Brown, you like Brandon Ingram. Who doesn't? I like Quentin Grimes of the New York Knicks.
Wow, what a swerve.
Yeah, that's deep. It's
I would
deep.
say he's on a level lower than those two guys, but you can love him. Yeah.
Right, you can still like. I like a lot of guys in the league. I love Justice Winslow. He's back, baby. Anyways, Quentin Grimes needs a shot to come around, but he's there. Keep playing him,
Derrick
Tibbs.
Rose is out of the rotation. Cam Reddish is out of the rotation. I think Tibbs is on record saying this. So.
Yeah, and could be on the
Grime
block. Fred Katz wrote about it on The Athletic.
Grime time, baby.
What's going on there?
I got one more name, and I saw this in the NBA Reddit thread, so shout out to user Noseblind2. Siakam missed 3 weeks, and he's playing like he never missed a beat. And if you go and check the numbers,
I am going to do that.
He missed 3 weeks. Okay, he was playing at all NBA level, definitely all-star level for the Raps at the start of the season, looking like he had added some things to his game. His confidence was riding high. Then he gets injured, misses 3 weeks, misses 10 games, I believe it was. He's come back. He's played in the last 5, picked right back up where he left off, averaging 24 points per game, shooting 51 from the floor, 40 from deep, 80 at the line, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, about half a block.
Put him in the All-Star game.
I mean, that's like... Because the worry was, as Raptors fans, like, oh, damn, not only, the injury, that sucks. Some guys, take a while to get back going. And he, picked it up right in that first game he returned against the Cavs that they won.
Especially with last year, the way he started the season with the shoulder injury. That was a bit of a worry because he wasn't himself. But, yeah, right back.
So that's a good call there from Noseblind 2, did I say?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, Noseblind 1 was taken. All right, let's take our first break. And when we come back, we'll look at the poll results from Jaylen Brown or Brandon Ingram, and we got some other great NBA threads. Don't go anywhere.
It's always around now that we start thinking about New Year's resolutions. Guys got anything in mind for 2023?
No.
Already perfect?
Walk more
Walk more.
instead of sit.
Please walking your cat.
Yeah, I'm walking my cat more. I'm one of
Walk my
those
cat
people.
more. Nice. I got a few in mind as well. More emotional vulnerability. That's a big one to me. Learning how to pronounce emotional vulnerability is going to be another one.
Put that one first and then do it.
We'll see. We'll see if it comes around. Want to step up my post game a little bit? Thinking about tinkering with my shot mechanics after the haters got to me.
Oh, no.
And you guessed it, 2023, it's the year I dunk again. Maybe you're going with something a little more classic, though, like wanting to work out more, in which case Peloton's got a gift for you. Right now, you can get up to $200 off accessories like cycling shoes, heart rate monitors, and more when you purchase a Peloton bike, Bike Plus, or Tread. And you can get up to $100 off accessories with the purchase of a Peloton guide to take your workout to the next level. Make this the first step toward achieving your fitness goals in the new year, and once you start, you'll see why so many people stick with Peloton. With a variety of workouts from cycling to scenic runs, boot camps to power walks, you'll find classes that work for you, taught by world-class instructors who know exactly how to get the best out of you. So don't wait. Get this offer before it ends on December 25th. Visit onepeloton.com. All access membership separate. Offer ends December 25th. Cannot be combined with other offers. See additional terms at onepeloton.com.
If you own crypto and leave it on the exchange where you bought it, like Coinbase, that's a mistake. We've heard the news lately. Exchanges closed, accounts frozen, dreams crushed. People are learning the hard way. Crypto on an exchange is not really in your control. So what can you do? Get a secure crypto wallet and control your crypto yourself. You need to check out Zengo, the simple and secure crypto wallet with everything you need. Over 2 million Bitcoins have already been lost forever, just gone, because most crypto wallets come with a private key that you need to secure. If the private key gets lost, hacked, or stolen, say goodbye to all of your crypto forever. So get this, Zengo created the crypto wallet everyone's been waiting for. It's controlled by you, so unlike an exchange, no one can access your crypto but yourself. Zengo removed the private key vulnerability, instead using a type of cryptography called MPC that until now has only been available to billion-dollar institutions. Here's what that means. I didn't know what it means. 1, your Zengo wallet is fully recoverable. 2, your Zengo wallet is a hacker's nightmare. And 3, Zengo built live 24/7 support with real people directly into the app. From Bitcoin, ETH, and more, Zengo supports all your favorite cryptocurrencies and NFTs. Keep your crypto and NFTs safe with next-gen tech the big guys have been using for years, thanks to Zengo. Download the Zengo app from the App Store or Google Play, that's ZENGO, and use code NODUNKS to get 0% fees on your first purchase of up to $1,000 when you select Banksa as your purchasing option. I like saying Banksa. That's code NODUNKS for 0% fees on your first purchase. Here it is again, via Banksa. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details.
All right, back in the Classic Factory. 2 things going on in the stream team right now. People still voting on the Who Would You Rather Have poll, but we're going to call it here. Jaylen Brown or Brandon Ingram. 67% say...
It's got to be JB.
It's Jaylen Brown. That's right. 33% rolling with Brandon Ingram. The second thing going on in the stream team right now is a great Tass Mellis versus John Schumann beef. Going
Nobody
back
wants to hear about that.
Oh, I love this stuff. It's like you two remind me a little bit of like a Seinfeld and Newman.
Yeah.
Like love-hate relationship. I don't know, best way I can put it. But I guess what? Schumann redacted a message. Tass took offense to that. What are you hiding?
Just asking.
Yeah, and
I just wanted to know,
back.
and then he gets all spicy.
Well, then you got spicy back.
Oh, yeah. Well, you bring the spice.
Great.
It was great to see him score a goal for Portugal yesterday, though. Pepe is the Portuguese John Schumann. What a goal, that first goal. That first goal was... I've been watching soccer. I've been watching the World Cup. Haven't been all that amazed by goals, but that first one...
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
You like seeing a guy put his nuts on the line for his country?
Do I like seeing it? Yeah, that's why I'm watching the games. But, I don't know, a lot of just... The goals haven't been amazing.
Okay. Simple
That's
goals.
what I'm there for.
Yeah, there's good goals,
Beautiful.
there's bad goals, there's mediocre goals.
You're right.
It's always the same. Well, we're into the quarterfinals, though. Good matchups. Tell you that. I guess Morocco is the Cinderella right now. Surprise team through on penalty kicks yesterday.
I was
Against
surprised they
Portugal,
got through.
Was that
No,
sorry.
No. Portugal is through. They didn't
yes.
start Ronaldo, and they won.
Who the heck did they play? I forget who Morocco played. Spain.
Yep. That's the one.
All right, let's get into these
moving on
NBA
here.
records.
Another Reddit thread concerning the Pacers rookie, Andrew Nembhard, who had a wicked wild game against the Golden State Warriors earlier this week. Witterger9762 wrote, Andrew Nembhard played unlikely hero versus Golden State Warriors. Why don't you name some others? Starting a thread, and we stole that thread and wanted to jump all over this because it's exciting.
Before we do that, hilarious comment in the thread from Ashep5 talking about Nembhard hitting the game winner versus the Lakers and then, at times clowning the Warriors and Curry. Quote here, again, Ashep5. When he hit that game winner over me, I just knew. I just told everybody this kid is going to go on to do great things in our league. I remember texting Steph. I said, this kid is going to be great. And if you're not careful, he'll cook you next time out. That's very funny. Obviously, LeBron there. The joke on LeBron knowing and texting Steph in advance. Hey, this is going to happen. He's going to score 31 on you the next week. So watch out. But anyway, I'll get us started here. Name some other guys, unlikely heroes. I got two really strange ones. Nick Richards has been okay for the Charlotte Hornets. I know it's not Nembhard level, but he gives the Hornets like 10-7 off the bench in like limited time. A block. We saw the Nick Richards game here in Atlanta. I think that's a part of it. Trey and I were at the Fortress with our guy Wendell from Survivor, and the game sucked because the Hornets embarrassed the Hawks, but it was the Nick Richards coming out party there, and he had a monster game.
20 points, 11 rebounds, 9 for 9.
Look at that.
From the field.
Jesus.
Where were you?
Anyway, so I got him. And then I went with another name here, Phoenix Suns, Damian Lee. Because he had the game winner earlier in the year. You might remember that little baseline jumper that he hit. Nice. And he averages like 9 off the bench, again, limited time, but he's shooting 48% from 3.
So ridiculous.
So he's like his, brother-in-law.
Yes, I've actually been super impressed with Damian Lee because I feel like a lot of guys leave the Warriors and you can tell they've left the Warriors. He's joined the Suns and has kept on doing and probably improved on what he was doing with Golden State. So yeah, he's been a nice little find.
Any other under the radars other than Nick Richards, the Nick Richards game?
Yeah, it's hitting me now that I was there for the Nick Richards game and Bogdan Bogdanovic's return. What a year in Atlanta.
Jesus, I saw that too.
Yeah, I went vintage on this one because when I hear unlikely hero, the first name I always think of, Sundiata Gaines.
Me too. Oh, you're going old school. I love
Of course, man. Of course. G-Leaguer on a 10-day contract with the Jazz back in January 2010. In his 5th career game, he scored 9 in the 4th quarter and hit his first career 3, a game-winning buzzer beater against LeBron.
LeBron knew it.
Yeah, LeBron knew it. He said, when the Jazz signed this guy to a 10-day contract, a few days later, he's going to hit a game-winning three-pointer against us. Sundiata Gaines jumped on the table. Jazz fans were going absolutely bonkers when this happened. They were wearing green jerseys. That was very cool. I was surprised to see when I went back and watched the clip this morning. Shaq is there for the Cavs. A lot of weird stuff going on in 2010, the end of LeBron's first term with the Cavs. But that's the guy I will always think of for an unlikely hero.
And I wrote so much down about that game. Sundiata Gaines, what a name, first off.
Yeah.
He's on a 10-day. Hit his first 3, as you said. And it turns out to be a game winner over LeBron James. A far deeper cut than Andrew Nembhard. Andrew Nembhard is going to have a longer career than Sundiata Gaines. Sundiata Gaines ended up playing 113 games, started 12 games in his career. On a 10-day, that's a monstrous one. Sundiata Gaines.
Did we not have our live 500th Basketball Jones show the following day after that game winner? Because the only reason I remember it, or I think I remember it, is because we started that show joking that we were there to do the live show and just talk basketball like we normally do, and then we were going to start talking about Gaines' game winner. I think that's the case. We'd have to check the dates would make sense.
Yeah, for sure.
From what was the name of that basement bar? Where you had your
No,
you had your wedding.
The Drake.
The Drake, yeah, the Drake
Nice.
Hotel, like in the basement there. I'm pretty sure it was the day after the Sundiata Gaines game winner.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I think so.
You're in the front row, Trey, you remember?
He was there, yeah.
Wow.
You weren't even a part of the team, the show.
Weird.
Just a fan. Just a fan, you know? Got to put yourself out there.
You weren't?
No,
Anyway.
he wasn't.
I don't think that was the Drake.
Yeah, it was.
For our no season required?
No, I said our 500th
500,
episode of the Basketball Jones.
All right. Come on. I made a mistake.
Man. Don't you dare question my Sunday at a game. I've either made it up or that was a thing that happened. So I think it was a thing that happened.
He made a mark on you.
He did. Well, then along those lines, Andre Ingram,
Good one.
the old guy
That's a
that was
good
in the
one.
G League for a decade and got called up to the Lakers and popped off on national television,
Yep.
hit like a bunch of threes, scored a ton of points. that was a moment.
That was cool.
So okay, I realized I looked at this thread the wrong way.
I think you just took it a different direction, man.
Thanks, man.
Which is what people do on Reddit.
That's right.
Many different ways.
That's right.
Many different answers.
That's a good
different
point.
brains.
All right.
Let's get to another
We got there.
thread from Reddit.
Yep.
Best current NBA contracts. Simple as that. I think people will also take this question wherever they want to go, from Curry for real on Reddit. Which way do you want to
Best
go?
current contract.
Best current contracts. You looking at a cheapie? You're looking at a GM that signed somebody to a very small deal. You're Chandler Parsons historically, or something like that, or getting your bang for your buck. Some people will say a max player, Giannis Antetokounmpo, worth every penny.
He's underpaid.
You get paid twice that
100%
much.
Yeah.
But don't do that. That's not
that's cheating. That's cheating. No, what I
Can't do
did
that,
with
actually.
all of these, generally all these NBA Reddit threads, were read the question, try and think of my answer, and then get to scrolling to see if or where it comes up,
nice.
right?
Yep.
And it didn't take me long with this one to get to who I think is one of the best contracts in the NBA. Demonic Dimples went with Malik Monk as one of the best contracts in the NBA for this season. That's a great call. He makes $9 million a year. In today's game, that is peanuts. Which sounds weird to say, but it is, right?
Yep.
$9 million. He's averaging 15 and 4 on 62% true shooting percentage, Malik Monk, off the bench. In 22 minutes per game, he's doing all that. Ultimate six-man. He's doubled his career, assist percentage, because that was not really something he was known for, but he's become a bit more of a playmaker, and he's sort of keeping the turnover rate in check as well while doing that. And I think it's he can only get better. That's the crazy part with him, because he's not shooting the three ball lights out. He's 37% from three this year, but he over the last 2 years with the Lakers and the Hornets, he was basically a 40% three-point shooter. So I think that might tick up a little bit here. Malik Monk at $9 million per year that's a hell of a deal. He could go on to win Sixth Man of the Year, at least be in the running.
Yeah, he made my list. 9 mil, 9.4 this year, 9.9 next year.
Yeah.
That's nice. Throw him in there with Domantas Sabonis, 18.5 this year, 19.4. You're getting two really quality players for the cost of basically one starter. Shout out to Monty McNair. We talked about him a little bit. Brook Lopez, I think, is also definitely on the list. 13.9 million this season. You could consider him one of the best injury returns as well. He's a DPOY contender. The offense looks incredible. Kyle Kuzma, my guy, 13 mil this year. Player option for 13 mil next season. That's pretty cheap for a 20-point-per-game scorer. But single best contract in the league for me right now, Jose Alvarado. $1.5 million this season. Team options for 1.8 and 1.9 the next couple of years. That's worth it for the vibes alone, baby. I'd pay $1.5 million for his vibes.
Yeah. And now he's becoming a very, very good basketball player. The guy just scored 38 points in a game for 1.5 mil. Yeah, he's becoming way more than just the stealer. But David Griffin, I've been critical of him, but he's doing some stealing in the draft, signing contracts, as you said, even beyond this year, to have a guy on your roster getting paid under $2 million, which is what I've been saying about Yuta Watanabe. He's hurt now, but under $2 million for giving some serious vibes to the Brooklyn Nets is fantastic. You mentioned Malik Monk. I think that's what people were sort of saying last year about Alex Caruso. Different way, plays a different way, but vibes are high. Doesn't show up in the box score, but $9 million per year with the Chicago Bulls is a ridiculously good contract. Brook Lopez, I think he'll be the cheapest all-star this season. I'll say that. The most inexpensive all-star this season at $14 million.
Interesting.
You take all the guys on rookie
deals
contracts
out,
off the board.
Yeah.
Not allowed.
Okay.
But I think, for a second contract / anywhere beyond a second contract, like second and beyond, I think he will be the most inexpensive all-star this season. Even more inexpensive than Lauri Markkanen, who I think will make it. It's a decent deal. It's 16.4 mil. for Lauri Markkanen.
Wow. I was like, what's Porzingis make? He makes $33 million.
He did get a big deal.
Yeah. So, that's a good call there with your cheapest all-star.
That's a great.
I like that.
That's great.
I love that.
And I guess last year, maybe DeJounte Murray was in that category for most inexpensive all-star, because he's also on a good deal if you look at it long-term. He's making 16.5 this year.
Yep. There's a lot of great names. The stream team here throwing out there. There was some love for Marcus Smart being on a very affordable deal and what he brings to your team. Dort has a very... Dort was the ultimate discount, but then signed a deal, but it's still super cheap. Right? I mean, it's... I don't have it in front of me what he actually makes, but it's like a lot... Isn't it like a super...
It's a 4-year something.
I believe it's longer for some reason. Oh, maybe they're including
this year.
Whatever he had, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some good ones out there. Keep them coming here in the stream team. But Alvarado, people are saying that is a solid one. Sabonis getting some love. Let's go to the next one, though.
I've been getting a lot of hate for saying that Josh Green of the Dallas Mavericks is the Mavs' Jose Alvarado. What's wrong with that? I'm underestimating Josh Green. It's from Mavs fans saying Josh Green is better than Jose Alvarado.
Wow.
He's got a higher ceiling.
I wasn't sure why they were upset. Yeah, okay.
I guess they're just they think they don't watch Pelicans basketball, number one. I assume. And Jose Alvarado's been so good. But I guess you expect Josh Green to, I don't know, have a bigger impact in terms of scoring. Maybe just Jose Alvarado's pigeonholed into this. All he does is steal in the backcourt, but he's better than that now.
Hey, look,
he's very, very good.
If you're a homer for your team and you have a rookie or a young player that is playing well, maybe above their head for a good stretch, then that player is a 12-time All-Star, future MVP. You wouldn't trade him for the world. That's just how it goes.
That's exactly
it's
right.
It's like
Love that.
We're guilty. We've done it with Raptors players before, and everyone does it for their favorite team. Again, like a promising, really young guy. It's like, oh yeah. And what's funny is like 2% of them actually turn into those, 3 to 10-time All-Stars, where most of them like have moments and probably have a good career. But I'm not saying Josh Green's going to be that. I like what I've seen from him, but I don't think he'll be making 10 All-Star games.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Fans of this next team, high hopes for their young players over the years. I'll tell you that. The Knicks.
Yeah.
Knicks here with the next thread. Knicks, wild stat. 8-3 versus teams whose city begins with D, O, or C. All right, they're 8-3 against those teams.
Wow, that's actually a lot of teams that start with C.
Yeah.
You mean
C.
the city name, not
City name.
Okay.
City.
Yeah. Well,
City begins-
Cleveland, Chicago,
OKC,
Charlotte, yeah.
Dallas,
Yep. Okay.
Denver. 3-10 versus the rest of the alphabet.
Okay, Gusto.
That via OK Gusto.
Oh.
I thought it was OK Gusto, but who knows?
Yeah. Gusto.
Mucho gusto. These are the advanced stats that I love. VORP, no thank you. DOC, yes.
DOC.
Crunch the numbers. The Knicks have 3 D games remaining, 7 C games, and 2 O games. That's 12 games left. If they win at the same percentage, a 72 win percentage, add another 8 wins to the Knicks total. Here's the bad part. 46 other letter games. Ooh. You multiply that by a 23 win percentage, it's only 11 more wins for the Knicks. 19 wins in total, 30-52. Ooh. Not great, Jim.
That's what you have the Knicks finishing here?
By the letter number math.
By the letter of the law.
By the letter of the law.
Yeah.
But I also got a solution for Knicks fans. They need to recruit DOC Rivers from the Sixers. A Knicks legend. Jeez. You're getting the letter bump. They could win 40 games if they get DOC Rivers. He is currently coaching another team right now. But if they get him, that turns the season around for the Knicks.
Wow. And you got to bring in Austin Rivers. Then they have 2 father-son combos on the roster. Doc is their coach. You got Jaylen and Rick as their assistant coach.
I like that, actually.
Oh, yeah.
They get a family.
He could help.
Gosh is saying in the stream team, we're calling it, or at least the user was, DOC, pointing it out that way. What about OCD? The OCD stat said Gosh. It's a great OCD stat about the Knicks.
I don't know. It's a fishy stat. It could be COD. COD.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Your duty has been called.
Wow.
That's a good one from OK
Now
Gusto.
I want to go through all the teams. Is Is this just to the Knicks, or is there another like wild one where it's like, well, I guess the Celtics do brutal against teams that start with C. They've lost 2 games to Chicago Bulls, 2 games to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
They didn't
I don't
lose
know
to
about the
Charlotte.
rest. Yeah,
they lost.
I imagine there are going to be a lot of teams that have decent records against C teams: Chicago, Charlotte, Detroit, Orlando, like DOC or some of the lower rated teams so far right now. But there's enough out there.
Okay.
Great stuff.
Great
stuff from Reddit.
Great stuff. We're going to take our final break here on today's podcast. When we come back, pick 'em results from last night, a fun, silly video to show you guys, and actually to get your take on how it went down. And we got a fun doc to talk about coming up. And there's a reason why I'm actually wearing this jersey. So stick around. We'll be right back. It's the most wonderful time of bullshit. The holidays aren't all sleigh bells, mistletoe, and carols. They're also airports, shopping malls, and Karens. So give yourself the ultimate gift of a stress-free holiday with the Next Evo Naturals fast-absorbing CBD products. Next Evo's Stress CBD Complex Gummies are clinically proven to have 4 times better absorption than standard CBD. No other CBD brand can promise that. They can't even dare to promise that. Next Evo does. I'm a fan of Next Evo Naturals, especially around this time of the year, because the holidays actually do stress me out. I'm a pretty carefree, easygoing guy, but it is a lot of pressure, the holidays. And a lot of pressure in pleasing people, be it gifts or traveling to see people, and like all of this, it gets to me. And then I also have this weird thing, like we take a little bit of time off, and I'm not good at taking time off. I always feel like the NBA's going, we gotta keep going. Just slow down, man. Relaxed. Get some Smart Sorb in me. Next Evo Smart Sorb technology delivers CBD to your system in little as 10 minutes, and I need that because this ain't regular CBD oil, which works more slowly because our bodies, they don't process oil-based ingredients all that well, especially when you compare it to the water-soluble supplements. Smart Sorb upgrades CBD's natural absorption power. It's scientifically formulated to deliver CBD fast. Fox fast. Kipchoge fast.
Who?
Kipchoge.
Oh.
Marathon runner.
Okay.
See, when you think fast, you think speedy, Bolt-like fast, right? You say Bolt, but why not a guy that can run a marathon in 2 hours?
That's fast.
That's damn fast.
Still long though.
It's still long, but he's running faster than any of us can run a mile. For 26 of them.
Yeah.
Isn't that nuts?
He'd lap me, literally.
Man, hey, I'm telling you to go to a G League game and take that in live. Go to a marathon and see elite runners, men and women, run. Blow your mind. The only problem with it, you only see them for like 8 seconds, but anyway, it will blow your mind how fast they're running. It's truly amazing. But anyway, get Smarter CBD from Next Evo Naturals and get up to 25% off subscription orders of $40 or more at nextevo.com/podcast. Promo code NODUNKS. That's nextevo.com/podcast. Promo code NODUNKS.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. When I went to vote in the Senate runoff election last week, it took a while. I got in line at about 7:40 a.m. and I spent about an hour in that library. But I had a wonderful shared experience. We were all in the same boat. We were all wondering if we'd make it to work on time. We were all moving around our meetings, doing whatever work we could do on our phones. I helped a guy who had his head buried deep in his phone keep his place in line because he was going to the back of the line. And I said, hey, come on over, bud. Come on over. Get your head out of your work there. He was very happy with me. Then we shared a little joke about using fake IDs. And he gave me a big pat on the shoulder when he left. Big pat.
Hey man, I wasn't expecting that.
Scared him.
It was an hour with a stranger, and it made me feel great. Gotta be honest. I imagine that's exactly how it feels when you use BetterHelp online therapy. Life doesn't come with a user manual, but talking to someone can help navigate life's challenges. Or the challenges of navigating Georgia's voting system. Not easy. Therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions and learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the closest thing to a guided tour of the complex engine called you. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists online. 100% available online. Plus, it's affordable. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler. No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/noducks. That's BetterHelp. HELP.com/noducks.
All right, let's start wrapping up this show here. Pick 'em results from last night. Dallas-Denver, obviously very close game. Denver, they had to win by 5 or more. And it was another straight-up loss. Hit the money lines when it comes to these pick-ems. Dallas won, obviously covered, of course, so Tass and Trey get the win. Tass 3-1. I fell to 2-2 because I took the Nugs. Trey, got your first win there for the month of December.
Yes!
So
Always never trust your instincts.
that's what
sometimes.
it is. Yes. What's tonight's game? Lots on.
11 games on plus Survivor. Whoa. But I went with, even though there's lots of great ones, a potential NBA Finals matchup here. Boston, Phoenix. It's a late one on ESPN. It's a tight line because it's Boston and it's Phoenix. Phoenix getting a 1.5 at home against the C's coming to town. And Trey and I think that the Celtics are going to win by 2 or more. They're just going to win this game. Skeets, you got the Suns.
Yeah, you got a point to play with.
You do have a point to play with.
This is me believing in the Phoenix Suns. You know, they just had a stinker.
Big stink.
Big stink. I think my guy
the
Book
Mavs.
is going to bounce back here. But who knows? Celtics are an awesome team. Already had 20 wins here. 25 games into their season. Crazy. Good luck. To me.
Oh,
You
man.
thought I was going to say you. Gotcha.
I thought you were going to say to all of us.
Yeah. So I got to show you this video from inside the NBA last night. I'm sure you guys have seen it. I'm sure everybody here in the stream team has seen it. It is a video of Shaquille O'Neal falling into a tree. I believe the first of 2 times he did last night. The second time he threw himself into the tree. That's a bit we've seen before, too, from these guys. But here's the question. Ghostface Ziller, Tom Ziller, wanted to know, did Kenny Smith and Shaq physically rehearse this scene at least once, walk through and discuss this scene without rehearsing it, or just totally wing it?
I think there's another option.
Okay.
Well, wing it. Yeah, wing it. Is winging it saying we're going to do it, but not walk through? They didn't do a walkthrough, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
There's
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You think there's somewhere in between, we're going to do this, but it's not like they got up and like,
No.
here, I'll bump you here. It was like, hey, I'm going to push you into the
Yeah.
tree.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
that option, yeah.
Yeah, whatever like that
It's
third
guaranteed.
middle ground option is. Because, you know, like Shaq doesn't need to practice taking a bump. He's great at
No.
that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He just said, I'm going to walk by, push me.
Yeah.
Case closed.
How big is that tree?
That's a giant tree.
That is,
thing is huge.
And it's a real tree, too.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was like a part of the bit after was like he's
Yeah,
it's
you're
like
right. He
real
was
needles
covered
on
in
him.
stuff, yeah. Wow. Okay.
A Big John's tree? Is that what the company is that's
I don't
selling them
know.
everywhere? I don't know.
That's where you live, right?
Yeah, you live in Big John's Creek.
No,
How are the
Tree?
trees up
John's
there?
everywhere. Yeah, we took care of business yesterday. Anyway, he's good at it. Did he throw himself the second
he
time?
later on just straight up chucked himself into the tree. Like just ran up into it and threw himself. So,
Even in those gum rubber soles.
He stayed under for such a long time.
yeah, they had to come pick him up too. I think he was really
He had
under.
to
Yeah, well,
pick
here
him up.
comes Shaq. Or sorry, Chuck and Ernie.
Wow, that tree is very secure. It's pretty sturdy. Very little wiggle
Yeah.
when he fell into it.
Yeah, look at it. He's covered in pine needles.
Yeah, you're right. I bet that tree cost $500.
For sure.
And
It's
so,
secured at the top. It has to be.
At the top.
well, at the top.
That is sturdy.
Yeah, you don't leave a tree like that in a studio. Just
Maybe they've learned their lessons because previously they have left it.
Yeah, trees have been knocked
Yeah.
over.
Trees have been knocked
yeah,
down.
it's the TNT studio with Shaq in it. He's gonna throw himself into the tree at some
That's a
point.
good
You have
point.
to. It's just if you're doing a pick'em on that,
Oh, but
bet the Shaq in the tree.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Over, actually, yeah.
Hey, did a bit hit on that show? Bet that it's gonna happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
yeah.
10 minutes later, it's gonna happen again.
That's why I thought you were going to bring it up to get mad that they're doing it again.
No. I just wanted. I thought it was a fun question from Ziller that you guys could give some really good opinions on, having been around it, seen it,
Yeah.
how it goes down. I think you're right. It's between the walkthrough and discussing the scene without rehearsing it to the just winging it. Somewhere in between.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do this. Sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah. And I'm surprised the crew did secure it from the top. I know, JD, you say they
I'm
must.
saying it
I don't
has
think
to-
it's secured from the top. That tree weighs. How much does that
300-pound
tree
mud?
weigh? Okay.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
in a
Studio's
giant,
getting bigger
strong
every year.
base. Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just think.
Like, it does barely moves. You
let's
know
see.
how big Shaq is.
Yeah, but it's.
Yeah, it could be secured. They could be tired of cleaning up Shaq's crap.
Yeah.
Because Shaq will do any sketch and just throw crap everywhere, and they got to clean it up. Crew's done with that. They don't
right.
want to clean up, and it's probably not glass ornaments or anything, and so they don't have to deal with that. Crew's getting smarter.
Shaq is a pretty good stuntman, though. Like,
Yeah, for real.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Like he did commit to the bit and then really chucks himself into it, and then did it again later by himself. So
Maybe
He is good.
Maybe he requested it. Secure it so I can really throw myself.
see, that's the more interesting part, Ziller. Who came into the studio last night and said, "We're throwing me into the tree"? Was it Shaq? Was it Kenny? Let's get those clicks. Was it a producer saying, "Man, we haven't thrown somebody into the tree in a while. Let's do that again." That's what I'd like to know. JD, you gotta.
It was 100% Shaq who went to Kenny right before air and said, "Hey, throw me into the tree. Just push me and I'm going to go into the tree." That's how it happened.
Yeah.
Well, it happened on Kenny's pictures, right? That's what it
Yeah,
looked
go
like.
run into the board.
So
That's
Kenny's
the
doing
race.
his normal thing, and then Shaq. Oh, Shaq.
But Kenny's in on it because he's like, I'm gonna body check you into
Yeah, wasn't Chuck saying he was gonna race him, and Kenny was basically like, "Don't race me, don't race me."
Oh, because
I
he's
got a
gonna
bit
ruin-
set up
ruin
over
it.
here.
Yeah,
Got a bit going on.
it. Yeah.
I like this. Honestly, this is unprecedented, but I'm giving a big hat to Gosh in the stream team.
Gosh, all right.
Honestly, bringing it today. Called it Chekhov's Christmas tree. Because if you see a Christmas tree in the inside the NBA studio, Shaq is falling into it. That's got to happen. Like John Schumann says, it's like a WWE segment with the cake. They never bring out a cake just to eat it. It's falling on somebody.
It's falling on something.
Shaq's going in that tree.
It's amazing.
Was that the first time it was decorated? Probably, right? Like last Tuesday
very good
wouldn't have
question.
been December quite yet.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He probably was so excited when he saw that thing out.
Oh yeah, he's like.
I'm falling.
Yeah. And you know what? Check the video on Twitter. It's probably got 10 million views.
Totally, yeah.
Just easy 10 million views, and then across all social media channels. Oh, if only it was that easy for us. We gotta just start chucking ourselves into things.
We got no trees.
Yeah, we got no trees. Just throw yourself into the monitor. See what happens. Let us go viral on that. No. We can't replace that. That's the thing. They can replace a tree. No problem. Okay, I want to tell you guys about an upcoming documentary. If you're in the Toronto area, this looks like a lot of fun. For diehard fans of the Vancouver Grizzlies, the team's abrupt move to Memphis in 2001, much more than a sore spot, it's an unsolved mystery, possibly a criminal conspiracy. And what begins as superfan / filmmaker Kat Jamie's investigation into her hometown team's disappearance becomes an exploration of the deep roots of fandom and an irreverent expose of the wild business of pro sports. This is screening The Grizzlie Truth, December 10th, which is this Friday, in Toronto at Hot Docs. And this is cool. It's going to be Kat there, obviously talking about making the movie and the documentary, and Grizzlies number 2 pick Steve Francis, who, if memory serves me right, did not want to play
Oh, your memory's correct.
in Vancouver. That'll be fascinating. And then former Toronto Raptor and member of the Fab Five, Jimmy King. So they're going to do an in-person Q&A at the screening. So that's looks like a lot of fun. And I guess your movie ticket guarantees you an entry into like a 3-on-3 skills competition and like open court run during the day. So if you're in Toronto, highly recommend you go check this out. And if you're an NBA fan, I assume this is right in your wheelhouse. I know we'll be watching it, and I think plans to do a film session on it.
I cannot
coming
wait
weeks.
to watch. Yeah,
Yeah,
Kat Jamie, the filmmaker, is actually in the stream team.
Hey,
Complimenting your jersey, Skeet, saying gotta get her one. Sorry,
You know what?
unavailable.
Let me see. Let me watch this documentary if I really like it. I might send this to you. We'll see what we can do.
Oh yeah, can't wait.
And Kat was the filmmaker for the previous, I guess you can call it Grizzlies documentary about finding Bryant Reeves. Do you remember that one in 2018?
Totally. Yeah, that was.
Finding Big Country?
That makes sense.
Yeah, I believe it's something like that. Let me know.
Yeah, it's very
Kat
close
there
to
in
the
stream
title.
team. Yeah, it's something.
It's
like
exactly that. Finding Big Country.
that is a fun, awesome documentary too. Like literally trying to seek out Bryant Reeves because he's like, think about it. You never hear from
radar.
him. Yeah.
Yep.
And she spoiler, she finds him.
You know what we gotta find? a way to bring an NBA team to the big country of Canada. Vancouver deserves another team. They deserve another team.
One of these days.
No, we can't just say that anymore. We can't just say one of these days.
How
They
many
deserve a
teams can we
freaking
have?
team.
How many teams do you want?
Just 2 more.
Well, we're
Vegas
already going
doesn't
to
need
Seattle.
a team. Vegas doesn't need
You
a
want to
team.
go Seattle, Vancouver? Stone's throw, my man.
It's not a
stone's
stone's
throw.
throw.
3 hours tops. Depends on the
3
border. Depends on the
hours
border.
tops.
I don't know, 4 hours.
It's a
maybe.
different country.
Or there's Raptors, Detroit. That's 4 hours, 5 hours. 4 hours of Tassie's driving.
It's a great point, JD.
That's only 4. Anyway, the point is
Yeah,
they shouldn't have
because
been
you live
taking.
in
Past driving, it's not 4.
That's-
It's-
he's from
he's gonna go
Mississauga.
the wrong. He's gonna go north.
I've had one
We're gonna
speeding
be up
ticket in
in
the last
Nunavut.
20 years. It's none of it. Anyway, I want none of it. David Stern said it was his biggest regret that Vancouver left.
I would hope
David
that's in
Stern
the
doesn't
doc.
didn't
it.
regret anything, but he regretted that because he knows it's a great market. You don't need one in Vegas.
You're right.
Right, we don't need one in Vegas? Is that
No.
what I'm right about? That's
Yeah,
right.
absolutely. You're right about most things, Tess.
Oh, come on, man.
Most things.
Except Josh
Except
Green.
driving and Josh Green.
Driving and
I wasn't
Josh Green.
criticizing you.
You were criticizing.
How was
him.
that criticizing?
I don't know. I guess I'm taking it personally, JD. It feels like I am.
You're a great driver.
I don't think
You're the
so.
best driver I know.
Oh, what-
In the actual thing of driving, the mechanics of
skills?
moving a car, you've got great skills.
Oh,
You should
yeah.
see his
But you're
hand
not.
over hand.
But
We had
that's
just-
why you need. I think we'd be
My
a
hand
good.
over-
We'd be a good rally team.
Okay.
You behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Me doing directions. You want to do it?
So what do those rally cars do? What do they?
I don't know.
They race.
Well, I don't know where
They race,
what do
but
you
where?
mean?
Like the road races.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's
Well,
almost off-road sometimes. Right?
sometimes
Like,
people like get too close to the road and they
Oh,
like
yeah.
clip them and stuff. It's scary.
I've got.
But you wouldn't because you're the best driver I know.
No, I'd clip everything. I just clipped a tree outside. Happy to do it. Cars are
Not
fine.
my maple.
You need
Well,
to
the
cut
branches
back.
are fine.
You need to cut back that
I
maple,
know.
sir.
I'm afraid to touch it.
But it's starting to scratch some
I know.
automobiles in your
I
driveway.
don't mind.
You don't mind about it?
I don't mind a scratch or two. Cars are meant to be driven. They're meant to be
that beautiful
pampered.
I'm just saying. I think you can trim it back. I don't think
I
you're
know,
gonna
but
kill
I
it.
don't want to hurt it.
Thing's huge.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. Well,
That's a
after this
beautiful
show,
maple.
let's go
It's a nice
outside.
maple.
You can body check me into that maple tree outside. See if we go viral.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Finally. We're not rehearsing it though. We're just talking about it. That's how it went down. That's what we're doing.
We're gonna run down the driveway. I'll be on the right. You'll be on the left. Body check me into it.
In.
Okay. All right, let's call it there, guys. Fun show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you do and you listen to the podcast, leave your boys a 5-star rating and review. If you're watching here on YouTube, either live or later, hit the like button. Subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube. If you've come over from NBA Reddit, thank you, and do the same thing. Either if you're a listener or a viewer on YouTube.
Yeah.
I
Thanks for the
like these
collab.
ones.
It's fun.
That's
great.
I am loving these shows. So let's keep it going. Keep those threads going, guys.
Continue posting.
Keep coming up with cool NBA Reddit threads, and we'll keep talking about them. We will see you guys tomorrow here live at 10 a.m. Eastern from the Classic Factory, and a few more shows later this week. No Buffs, our Survivor recap podcast, and an Is This Good podcast is coming from Matty O and his special guest. That's later in the week. Till then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, usually this is quippy, but just give me a quick answer on this. A friend of mine goes off-roading. He says, they go as a team. You just remind me. They go as a team of 4 people in a car, but they're all in the same car. But it can take as long as an hour to go a mile because of the terrain.
Wow.
And they're working as
they
a
do-
team.
Yeah, I've seen this
They're
before.
working as a team. I mean, I don't really know the details other than that, but it's the movements, the land they cover can be so small, can be so short that it can take again.
Right.
It
Because
can
so
take
rugged
forever.
and yeah.
Would you do that?
Not a chance.
Would you do that, Trey?
In my Volkswagen?
No. Like you jump in the.
I gotta upgrade?
You got to jump in the vehicle of this
No,
person.
no.
That doesn't seem
Too
fun
long.
to me. Yeah, but people
I
love
hear
it.
what
yeah.
you're saying, JD. I just need a quick answer. That's all I need.
Yeah, it doesn't sound fun to me. Sounds like a chore. No?
And they go into a spot where there's 0 reception.
Yeah, you get stuck. You're stuck, man.
It's like you can't
How do
look
you
at your
check
phone.
any-
Isn't that the
information.
thrill of it, right? It's like, can we get from point A to point B, which you should not be able to take this vehicle, but if we can figure it out as a team, put our, I don't know, get our rock up here, slide down here, do this. That's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like your favorite show. Survivor. Not. That was just a plug.
If I can vote out the
Make it
vehicle at the
alone.
end of the episode, absolutely. You know me and cars. Don't care for them. Brace the day, people.